My constituency will have two very large local governments, 33 wards, and over 300 communities. And it's an area that I believe government should declare as an emergency disaster area, flowing from the fact that it's a completely contaminated zone in this country, flowing from the activities of the hydrocarbon industry. That is the heart of the supposed cleanup of Ogoniland, which of course we are yet to see. And in Rivers State, those two local governments are very critical local governments to the Ogoni people, because as an Ogoni man, we are found in 4 major local governments: Tai, Eleme, Gokana, and Kana local government. In fact, Kana local government is like the mother local government. And we speak Kana language and little differences in dialects here and there. But it's when you have the Ogoni people, we are found within those 4 local governments in Rivers State, in the southeast senatorial district of Rivers State. Well, when I was doing my campaigns, because I'm one person that I'm moved by what I see around me, especially the vulnerable in society, and we told our people to be sure that first of all, make sure that their yearnings and their positions are made known to the people. First of all, as the people that we see as very deprived, in our society, because we're like minorities in the minority. And so we felt that we should tell our people that we'll bring to limelight some of our major problems. Of course, those problems are problems that are synonymous with virtually every tribe. But because of the long neglect, we feel that I felt I should come and also at the national level make it known to our people. When I mean our people, Nigerians. And we try to see how best we can drag programs and projects of government to the people, if they are available. When I mean if they are available, with what happens in this country today, you find very little of those programs and projects that you can take to your constituency. Because, like I keep saying, we are in a skewed environment, and what comes to my constituency, as large as it is like a drop of water in the ocean. We made them also understand that all the things that have to do with education, roads, water, all forms of social amenities, health, where they are not existent, we'll try our very best to make sure that we drag it home to our people. And for me, you drag it home either from here or from the government of Rivers State. And I think so far, especially from the government of Rivers State, so far, the projects are coming in. From here, some small programs, because what is allocated to my constituency is quite small. If you look at the zonal intervention, in my state, we are 13 members, so you can imagine what goes to my constituency. About 80 something million naira for a constituency of 2 large local governments. So that tells you how it is. But so far, I think in terms of advocacy and all that we need to do, we are doing it. And we're doing it very well. Well, in terms of projects, in terms of projects and programs, I will say I've not done well. And when I mean I've not done well, I've not been able to attract projects to my constituency. And of course, like I've made it very clear, what's available to my constituency it's not something you can even mention. But in terms of, we're trying our best, trying to represent them. We're doing our very best in every way, and we believe maybe with time it will yield fruits. Yeah, we have a new budget before us. We'll still do the very best we can to ensure that maybe some provisions are also made, but I think so far in terms of physical projects, we haven't really done well. Because I must tell you, I'll give you a very simple example. When capital projects are not, the capital releases are not there. And most of the time, even when it is released, almost at the end of the life of that budget. So you begin to wonder, how do they really go about it? Because in my what is provided for in my local government can just maybe do 1 or 2 boreholes. Honestly, what can you do with 80-something million naira in about 300 communities? I mean, you look at it. What exactly can you do with it? So we're trying to look at how government, some of these major projects can be taken to the area we come from. That's why maybe by now, if not, but for the government of Rivers State, maybe some of us would have been stoned by now. At least through the government of Rivers State, we're able to beat our chests that we have done well. But from the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Nigerian state as a federal government, not much. Well, first of all, let me just inform you. By the special grace of God, I was able to leverage on the ACMIS loan, which I think I encouraged a lot of young people in my area to take advantage of it, and a lot of them took advantage of it. So a lot of them have small farms here and there, little small industries like mills, palm oil mills and all that, small ones littered here and there, through the facilities I've been able to expose them to. And I believe it's going to better the youth. For me too, I am also, as an individual, I do a lot of programs, training programs for young people, particularly in fisheries, in catering. Some of them privately, doing some scholarship for them and all that. But we believe that when we come out of this recession and all that, and government becomes a bit more focused in terms of funding, we believe we can maybe do a bit more. But if you see, I come from the Niger Delta, where there are a myriad of problems, and we were thinking that programs of government like high prep, in course of the cleanup, will be able to pull some of these young men out of the woods. We're still watching. Maybe when high prep finally comes to do the cleanup, maybe things like that will come on. But like I said, our area should be declared as a disaster zone, and government should pay particular attention, so that a lot of things can come to play that will assist our young men. We have very highly educated young people in our area, but no jobs, no industries, no jobs, no light, no nothing. And so those are the things we're crying for every day. Within this period, at least I have trained close to 100, if not more, on various skills. through my own efforts, I was able to reach out, particularly, because the issue of the pandemic, most people don't even understand. There are a lot of people who didn't even get aware, because if you are in a rural setting, it's even difficult. Up until this moment, most people in Nigeria don't believe that there's what we call this pandemic. Do you understand? The COVID-19 is believed by a lot of people in the rural areas as a scam. And so what some of us have done, we have done a whole lot of aggressive advocacy in the media, especially the radio stations in River State. We did a lot of jingles in local language, in Pidgin English, a lot of posters which guided our people, and that's why we didn't have those calamities in my area especially. And I must also commend His Excellency the Governor of River State for the largesse that he brought to my area. In those 4 local governments, I can tell you we were able to survive during that pandemic in spite of the things that were happening. We had enough to eat and we had to carry on. So I think so far, the only problem we have, like I keep saying, and like I kept saying even this morning, is that the monies and the feeding program that was done during the pandemic, the billions of naira that were spent on school children, we didn't see it. My brother, I didn't see any in my local government. No child, no ward was given any food. And yet we hear humongous amounts of money that were spent, except that you are telling me that my constituency has been excised from the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which I don't want to believe. But if it is true that such monies were spent, we should be able to understand who and who in my constituency were benefiting from it. Even the so-called conditional cash transfer and all that was supposed to reach people and all that. I didn't see any in my local government. Neither did I see it in my federal constituency. I'm not even sure we saw it in my state. In fact, I was thrown aback to that day when I was reading in the newspapers that the federal government borrowed 5 million metric tons of grains from what they call this, from ECOWAS. And I was wondering, 5 million metric tons, and we didn't see 1 grain of rice in Kana Federal Constituency coming from the federal government. All the disasters that took us, even last year, even my house was submerged in water, not to talk of the ordinary persons. We didn't see any intervention. No intervention, in spite of all our pleadings. So let me also use this opportunity to call on the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that River State is also part of Nigeria, and that Kana Federal Constituency remains an integral part of this country. Well, for my people, the good people of Kana Federal Constituency, no matter how terrorized environmentally we are, let us continue to keep faith with God, remain united, and understand that we can only move forward holding our hands. I commend both the young people, the elderly, for the support they have given to me and the faith they have in this country. I also expect that they continue to believe and understand that we are here pushing for the very best for them. I can assure them and other Nigerians that we sit here, we will make sure, especially that of the high prep, which is what pains us the most. We will make sure that high prep is repositioned to do a proper cleanup in Ogoni land. That I can tell every Ogoni man. I also sit here to tell us that by the grace of God, those things we have lost, those times we have lost, we will get some of it. Let me also say that, like in Kana local government, we are getting new police divisions, so security is going to be improved. Security will be improved. We are also working, in consonance with the Honorable Minister of State Power, and we believe that the Ogoni area will soon smile with light, because with what is being worked on and what we are pushing for this through that ministry, I believe that Ogoni land will soon have light.